Alright, good morning everyone. It is Thursday, May 15th, and we do have quite a bit to talk about today as a large-scale severe weather outbreak is expected across portions of the United States. As you can see, an enhanced risk is already in place across Wisconsin into northeastern Illinois, northern Indiana into Michigan. I do think this could be extended further south as the day progresses, and I could also see a moderate risk being introduced today. And there's a very large slight risk. Here's the 0Z NATOcast. I think it is kind of underdoing the tornado potential today, as the SPC has a 10% significant hatch across southern Wisconsin down into northeastern Illinois. I think this will increase as the 12Z update comes in this morning. And I do want to briefly talk about day two. Day two looks like it could be a very significant day as a very large enhanced risk has already been introduced. Once again, I do think this could also be upgraded to a moderate risk across southern Illinois into southern Indiana and southeastern Missouri. Looks like tomorrow might be, more of a widespread severe weather outbreak, while today might be, more scattered. I think that moderate risk will probably be introduced either later today or during the overnight update, and it's just something we're going to have to watch very closely. Alright, now let's take a look at the latest model runs. This is the 11Z HRRR model. Let's go ahead and take a look at the significant tornado parameters this morning. And as we move into this afternoon, notice those values begin to increase. I will note one thing: they are not as significant as they were yesterday, but you can see that kind of uptick in colors there during the evening hours there across central Illinois, clear on through northern Wisconsin into Indiana. I don't think south central Illinois is going to be a problem just because the capping is going to be so strong, but we'll keep an eye on things. That's the 10Z run, showing more of a widespread area of STP values. So, these models are just kind of all over the place this morning. And notice, the STP values aren't very high where the Storm Prediction Center has that 10% hatch risk. I do once again think that enhanced will be, brought further south because, I just think there's a better chance for isolated supercells across central Illinois into northeastern Illinois. Alright, let's take a look at the Cape. Cape values are going to be pretty high this afternoon. Values pushing 4,200 in west central Illinois. With the capping in place, a lot of people are asking, is that cap going to break? We don't know. A lot of models are showing the cap is going to break, but, I personally just think the capping inversion is just going to be very strong. So we're just going to have to see how things play out. Here is our helicity tracks. Not seeing a whole lot there. That's too concerning. And notice there in Wisconsin, there's quite a few helicity tracks. So, that's definitely something you want to pay attention to. Notice there across east central Illinois, basically, along Interstate 51 and points eastward, seem to have the best chance for anything today. And I think big hail is going to be, the main risk today, but, I do think a few strong tornadoes are possible. I will say that up by Chicago, I think a few QLCS tornadoes are possible. I think up there the storms are going to form and grow up scale very quickly into more of a line. Here's Northern Illinois University's extended severe weather outlook. Notice, we're entering that very active period we talked about during the last video. And look at tomorrow. Tomorrow's looking rather concerning. Over the last few days, I know the main focus was on today, the 15th, but I think tomorrow is going to be an issue too. I think more of a widespread scenario is looking more likely tomorrow. I think, once again, we probably will at least have a moderate risk tomorrow. I don't think we'll have a high risk, but. And notice as we move into early next week, those values remain pretty high. I do think we will be talking about several severe weather outbreaks early next week. But other than that, that's all I got. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day. Follow me on Twitter at StormfrontWX, and thank you guys for watching.